Hello, and welcome back to this Hinnom multiplayer series. This is episode 16, and we will soon get to turn 37, but I want to show some messages first, and go a bit more on what I was talking about last session, which was trying to talk about the state of the game. These are some messages from turn 35, I think. Yeah, turn 35. Just to us, GG well played, your stake was as scary as I thought they would be to face, and you did good in trapping and killing my two Melqarts early in the war, so just saying something nice to him. I'm not just saying, giving a nice message to him. Now it's with Wars 1, and I'm cleaning him up. I sent a couple other messages to Russ during the war, like good luck in the war, and congrats on killing the Melqarts and so on, but wasn't a lot of any fancy diplomacy. But what I really want to show is this. So this is a pretty good message summarizing what was going on in the game from my point of view. Arco I don't have a big border with, and is probably the nation that's most on the other side of the world from me. So in this message and this turn and phase of the game in general, I'm just sort of reaching out in diplomacy for the first time after maybe 10-15 turns. I was just fighting the war with Russ, everyone was fighting their war with Zatis or whoever, so it's kind of like a new phase in the game with Arco attacking Sorrow and a bunch of new wars bringing up. And obviously old wars concluding, so it's in this message I write, it has been some time since we've communicated, and with the current wars of the world against Zatis and Russ drawing to a close, we wish to re-establish communications. It seems as if Atlantis now has a strong foothold on land. Marverni has had much time to scale, with ever-increasing research and mage production since their conquest of Miklin. Sort of outside this message, want to say Marvy's been at peace for maybe 15 turns with the whole of, or most of Miklin in his land, so so he's had a lot of time to have a good capital control, or he's had two capitals for a long time, so he's got the potential to be, well, not the potential, he does have some advantages going on for him. Yeah, and Sorrow has reading the message, Sorrow has benefited greatly with minimal losses in his conquest of Zatis. That's a little bit of deception. I think in some battles Sorrow lost a lot of long dead horseman troops, but his gold troops for the most part I think came out pretty untouched. Back to the message. Baratos enjoys a rich blood economy as they focus heavily on enhancing their research with their many forts as they unleash blood summons within their land. So we know Baratos probably has one of the most densely forted nations in the land. The other contender would be me, but I'm also just a lot bigger than him. But Baratos has some of the really good researchers in this game. They have good blood hunting, and I think Arco borders him, so we've probably both seen some of his blood hunting going on. Back to the message. As our two nations do not share national borders, it seems natural to reach out to look for friendship and find a common cause. New wars will start soon. We wish to get ahead of them by finding friends and initiating them being the wars, rather than wait to be caught on a defensive war. Let us know if you find interest in our proposal to find a common cause to work together. So, kind of helpful message that I made in the game at the time. Kind of talks about, the state in the game. And it's sort of like a transition period in the game. On the initiating wars thing, I think you're at a tactical advantage if you start wars rather than wait for people to attack you, because if you're starting the wars, they might not be prepared with the tech they need, or you can attack when you have a new tech advantage. We sort of saw it in the Rust War, where I waited for mass protection to have my big fight. Whereas if Rust took the initiative and attacked me on his terms, he could have got me while my stuff was unscripted or poorly scripted. Before I had tech like mass protection ready, or if I didn't have, Wave Warriors ready. He could have tried to pick apart armies while they were emerging behind my lines, things like that. So me raiding him had him on the defensive, so I dictated the pace of the war, so to say. So for me, dictating the pace of the war is what I like to do. And I do think tactically, or maybe not tactically, I like to play strategically offensive but tactically defensive, meaning that strategically you're applying a lot of pressure through raiding, through threatening forts, through not necessarily direct conflict, but through positioning. And fighting defensively tactically, I would say is trying to bait out what tech your enemy has so you can counter it or script against it. So with Russ, I was trying to figure out what was his plan for the big battle with me. And I guess we never really saw a big plan out of him. But there was the potential of, say, if he had a magically had fog warriors ready. And by magically, I mean I didn't know he had it ready. Or if he had, say, mass flight ready. I could have prepared to script against it so he wouldn't counter me. So, yeah. That's helpful message. Did do a couple other messages. To Baratos, we send congratulations on your conquest of the difficult independent people in your lands, as well as the conquest of your recent throne. Despite your harsh positioning in the early months of the wars of the Pantocrator, it seems you've created a strong blood economy with an excellent core of fortified lands to enrich your research. We await to see what you unleash on the world. So this was just kind of, message saying hi, not anything fancy. And that's what I said to him, and that's kind of what it was for me, just getting some communication going back in the game. To Marverni, as I said last episode, you can see on this map, I was taking this lake that was controlled by Independence but previously Marverni had. We wish to inform you that while we recognize the lake, Province 66, it was initially yours, we do not see you reclaim it in the next few weeks. If we do not see you reclaim it in the next few weeks, a Melqart will be sent to clear the Lake of Independence and brought back under the control of a nation. The reason we do this is we do not wish to see Atlantis given the chance to claim the lake with a teleporting mage and claim it out from under you. The lake is a strategic location and threatens thrones as well as Hinnom's new borders. And we wish to reduce the chance that Atlantis can find a that's a typo, foothold away from his ocean. If you retake the lake within this time, we will not dispute your rights to the province. Our primary motive is to keep Atlantis out without needing to declare a offensive war on him after the fact of him taking the province, if he should take it. So yeah. So that's the messages. So we're on turn 37. It's right here. This is Marverdi sending a message back. Your concerns have been noted and shall be addressed. I think I showed I was attacking the lake, so let's see. Okay, this is me pinging that throne next to Russ. If we take a look what's inside. There was a couple mages, but just a bunch of human tribe troop, I think. Do I need to turn? Squares, grid, battle log. Alright, so we see just a bunch of junky troops. I see one square of mages, so this is a lot of scary stuff can be done here if it was human scripted, but I don't know what the AI will do. They can obviously do air elementals, something creepy with astral, and like Wailing Winds or Wailing Death or Horde of Skellies. Depends what AI likes. Again, this guy is a bit less scary, but still a lot of gems. You could power the spheres and get scary. One more mage, just nature 1. Doesn't really matter for him. I just see 3 mages, so one mage might do something scary, but should be pretty easy for Melqarts to handle. In the lake, kill it. I think this is the last Atis fort. Sauramadia whacks it, takes it. For events, a sectarian movement emerges. False prophet is preaching in the province, so you have to patrol those to get it to stop preaching. Second event, plus 20 province income, that's pretty great. We catch a scout. I think this is still, yep, in Russ. Some patrolling, a little bit of blood hunting, some new tech. Conjuration 4. Is that power of the sphere? No, that's light of the northern star. Is why I took that. Blood magic. I think this is my national troop summons. And on to Conjuration 5 elementals next. For sites, one site, Auspix, is air site search. Probably an air gem. Nothing. Do we find anything else? No. So we found one site and another 15 or so provinces. This Copper Idol, 1 air income. So remote site searching still not paying out gem-wise, but we did find this critically impactful independent mage, so well, it was super gem heavy. I don't have like an, that's probably, I think I looked at the time, it's either Air 3 or Air 4. So if I just ran around with Air 2 mages, I never would have found this site, so. In that aspect, spending the gems to just find that one site, this one site, is worth it because it just gives me new things I can do in fights and in the game. So what are we doing this turn? Got Melqarts coming into this fight. We also have a ball. He's got a gem booster, has armor, has a vine shield, and I think this is just a random item from event or something. Flying shoes, I think that's so we could get there in time. Reinvigoration, so I'm gonna have him earth power, boost up to earth 5, double cast earthquake, so that's what, like 7 gems I'm spending. Melqarts are just doing basic thug scripting. Nothing too fancy. So Melqarts could probably take this province at their own, but the one independent mage could throw a wrench in things and do some permanent damage on me. So by just sending this guy in, having him double earthquake, I should just like murder these tribes and kill a amount of phantasmal warriors, but primarily I'm just trying to get an HP route and to kill these mages quickly. And like I should win this battle by the end of this second earthquake before these Melqarts finish their scripting buffs, or buffs of scripting. Okay, so just some patrolling, a little bit of blood hunting here and there. This Melqart's leaving the lake, bought 1 PD. Even though like I'm letting Marverni take this back, I still want, like, if the same reasoning, like if Atlantis decides to do like his teleport into these lakes, I still want to know what's in it if he does it. So it may annoy Marverni to put that 1 PD there, but it's gonna give invaluable information if Atlantis makes a move. And yeah. So in the state of the game, I was going through the game logs outside of the game and with my direct messages and such on the Discord where we played the game. So as a reminder, we had a nap 3 with Zaromadia, and I think around this time or a few turns ago I offered, or I didn't offer, but Marverni and I agreed to a nap, which is why I'm talking like so much about this lake in game as well as after now. As far as I found, those were the only 2 naps I had. I guess I made the decision that I wanted to attack Baratos next. So the reasonings for this is, I guess if I perceive myself as the biggest player in the game, I have 2 options. Kill my biggest rival, or try to win another quick war like I did with Russ to just keep snowballing. And the difference is that if I just kind of keep growing unopposed, and let's say Baratos is an easy war to run, people are going to start looking at me and saying, hey, this guy killed 2 players, he's the biggest in the game and we should gang him. Well, killing like the second biggest player is kind of going to get that same results, potentially. But I would expect him to be tougher to fight. That's not to say that Baratos would be an easy war. He does have blood summons and a bunch of gem troops coming up, and it would take a lot of time to bust through each individual fort. So it'd be tedious to fight Baratos. And I'm having a little bit of a problem right now that I don't have a lot of troops standing around. Like I have 20 or 45 troops on this front. I just have the leftovers, like the 50 here that I took with Russ. And let's see, I think these 2 stacks are the rest. Oops. 30 troops there. Another 30 troops there. So it's like 60 troops here, 50 troops on this front, another 50. So like 160 troops is all I have. To fight this army, I probably want 100 infantry at least. And if I do fight Marverni or Baratos, I keep mixing up their names. I'd want to hit from the south and north at the same time, so I'd be a bit limited with my troop count on how quickly I could siege him out, so it might drag on a little bit. Okay, I have some notes. What else did I want to say? So since I just won the war against Russ, there's things I can do to extend my land that's not just fighting more people. I can try to ramp up my blood economy. And how I can do that is, you know, get these Kohens for dedicated blood hunting. I can use Melqarts for blood hunting, and Melqarts are my most efficient blood hunters. At least I believe. Like, I think to get a Kohen to match Melqart, they eat about the same amount of population, but Kohen need, what's it called? I'll just check. It's crafting the Sanguine Dowsing Rod to boost his blood for blood hunting. And Kohen are super gold expensive. They're 250 gold for blood 1, so it's a pretty rough blood hunting transition to use Kohens. So I'd ideally want to be using all these Melqarts, which I have anyways. So that's like one thing I should be looking to do. Another thing is to start thinking about globals, and it's getting to that time of the game and that state in my research where I should be. As we see, Merverny still has his Mother Oak. He's had it up for a good while. For tech, yeah, I am looking to get this Conjuration 5 as a battle tech, and it's mostly a raiding tech for me. And by raiding, it's one of those small army compositions where I use a couple Ami mages, or Ami mages, however you pronounce it. Throw a couple gems on them, like 2 fire gems, 2 air gems, and they summon some elementals to just raid a empty province, or a small raiding group. So it's important tech for me to get for counter raiding. But the tech I'm looking at for my economy is Eternal Pyre, Fire 6, which I have with my hero. Oh, that's new. It generates 20 fire gems each month, and guess if you're seeing this for the first time, the most recent patch, which came out a couple days ago, I guess this is one of the new features. Wonder if it does other things. Holy moly. That's useful. Okay, I won't... anyways, I'll look at that off camera. I think last turn I said I'd expect my research to be around 1500 once I'd finished the crafting and went back to researching, but I'm at 1800. So my tech is getting enormous at this turn specifically. I'm guessing I'm not doing much remote site searching anymore. Still a little bit of the various paths, but I think I got the brunt of my nature done, air done, fire done, and probably earth. Let me try to find, these guys aren't doing any. Yeah, I think I have the brunt of my site searching done. I'm just sort of wrapping up. You'll notice in Russ's land I'm not doing full searching because I know he's done a lot of his own site searching already. So like this province, I did, what's it? How can I I hover over it. Astral 9. But I know he would have done air, and I can see he did earth. I think I found this site, but I know he did like air, nature. I guess maybe fire. I don't recall specifically, but I know what he did site search at the time, so I didn't like do remotes, as it'd be a little bit unrewarding, because Russ would have done 2 or 3 paths of site searching, where the reason I'm like double site searching my land is because most of these paths are only 1, so there's still a lot of potential sites to find, whereas if he's 2 or 3 deep with his site searching, I'm not gonna really find anything, probably. Okay, other tech I am looking at, so what I did the Eternal Pirate. The main reason I'm thinking about this one is I have good fire income with not a lot of ways to spend it yet, and fire's not a really especially in this game, I don't think it's a global that'll be contested with other people trying to override it, so that's a plus to get it. It's not very far for research. It's in a tree I want anyways, because later I'm gonna want that relief, and I'm especially gonna want mastery generation. Potentially gift of health as well. But after that, you can see I'm going alteration 9. What's that alteration 9? It is a core tech for my army focus strategy, armies of gold, armies of lead. So this is my next big tech point, or point of strength for the next wars I want to fight. So I'm getting my economy tech next, and then my next big battle tech. And another reason for why the Eternal Pyre is, I don't have access for the other gem generators for the most part, and I only have this guy because he's my hero. So I'm not sure there's other gem generators I can cast. I did check at the time, I'm just trying to recall. I might have been able to do the earth one. Maybe. Yeah, I could have, but it would have needed a lot of time to and items to get up there. I think I'd need like a staff of elemental mastery, which, if I'm not mistaken, I do not have yet, but with construction 6, that's one of the items I can craft, and I might wait until I have the air gems to do it, but this pretender was created with the mindset that he can make this, so I think I make this in the next couple turns. What else are we doing? We're doing some revived bound kings, getting them just to serve as what's it, like not utility but maintenance, or just to like ferry stuff across my land. And they're cheaper than like independent commanders in the sense that they don't have gold upkeep. So like once I make them, they're not a drain on my economy any further. Yeah, let's get to the next turn, as I'd like to do more than one turn an episode, so this isn't just a giant one turn ramble fest. We are on turn 38 next. Some more tech. tech done. As for site searching, we find Weeping Stone. I think that's I guess that's probably a water gem. And that's it. We did do a cast of Serum, or Serum. I'll show those in a second. Oh, did this find something? No. Not a lot of blood hunting, but we're trying to get in a little. Sarumadia pings Arco here. So that war is continuing. Marverni pings Throne. We ping, or actually, oops, we'll just watch this. So this is our Throne battle. And you should just see earthquakes melt squares. Well, the first one probably won't melt many, but the second one should. Should definitely mess those undead summons. These archers routing? Wow. First earthquake routed the archers. Right. Good chunk of people died that time. And I think if we look at this ball, we can get a sense of how many he killed. Somewhere. Experience, maybe? Okay, he killed 75 people with those 2 earthquakes. So we didn't rout them, but he did a lot of damage, which is fine. Looks like the mages ran from the 2 earthquakes. Or died. So yeah, nope. Here, I guess 82 kills for him overall. The 82 is about half of the troops in this province, so there were some Horde of Skellies there. So pretty effective. I'm not sure in the end that I needed the ball, but it made it less risky to take. Events, I find a lab, I get an Azure Mage, which are those water 2s. Azure initiates water 1s, so this is like that water side I found. But these are just some mages to come with it, so pretty good event. I get 5 free mages into lab. Next, get 350 gold and a slave matrix, couple gems. Cool. Nice, good luck event. I showed the site searching. Alright, so a lot of arrows this turn. And you can see where they're pointing. This is the result of some awkward diplomacy out of me. And more so just awkward situation in the game state. So I think last turn or the turn before, we had to replace the Sarumadia player as he was either staling or really late on the turns and not talking with us. So we found a Sarumadia sub, and either last turn or the turn before or somewhere really recently, Marverni attacked him. The Sarumadia, that is, and you can see this siege force here. 400 troops, great boars. This looks like a pretty scary Marverni stack. So what's going on from my point of view is I think I helped with finding the sub and recruiting him. Maybe not, I don't know, but I was talking with the sub and it's kind of rough for the sub because he was already in a defensive war against Arco, and then Marverni jumped in on him. And I don't know if I had a clear picture that Atlantis was attacking Arco yet. And I don't really have the scouts there, and I probably may not have been paying attention to these random sieges. But I was talking in the game state, and I think I said something along the lines of I wanted to achieve like a 3-turn truce for the Sauramadia player to get adjusted and such into the game. However, I was talking with Merverni beforehand, and since Sauramadia was being slow on his turns, I was initially joking from my perspective that we should attack Sauramadia, or he should attack Sauramadia, or something along those lines. And I guess checking the logs now, I did have a nap with Merverni. I don't recall if I cancelled the nap with the nap 3 or immediately attack the first turn, but I did publicly say that I was attacking Merverni and that I would be attacking and arriving this turn, with the aim that like there'd be a truce between Merverni and Sauramadia. So I guess you could say this was kind of a bungled diplomacy situation. I know at the time I was eyeing up fighting Baratos, and this is a lot of reactions to me sort of trying to apply pressure immediately. Like you can see this Melqart that just took the lake after I said I was, you know, only temporarily holding the lake. You also see Atlantis raiding here with a thug. But yeah, definitely a bungled diplomacy situation. But the war starts this turn. So let's see what my attack orders are. First up we have a Melqart. Astral Melqart. He is doing Bless, Resist Magic, Body, Ethereal, Astral, Shield, Personal Luck. That's full 5 spells. It'll I think it's below 50 fatigue after the script's done. It might not be, but it'll be pretty close to 50. So that's what my Astral Thug script is looking at right now. Here I have an Earth Astral, Summon Earth Power. Iron Will, Magic Resistance is what that is. Blessing, Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, and Attack, so another sort of full script. Should be pretty deep into fatigue negative. He should have like 9 or 8 fatigue or reinvigoration with much less encumbrance, so he'll be scary. Here I am raiding with Ami, and I'm fortunate in that I have that Conjuration 5 ready. So you see air elementals, fire elementals have mass protection. That's a weird one. Am I getting anything with it? Oh wow, this has the new text too. That's pretty cool. Okay. Air elementals. Sorry, I guess the air elementals are getting the protection. Up here we are raiding with fire elementals. Here we have troops raiding. So 2 Melqarts, some mages, and a small troop stack. So I'm not really sending any definitive sieging forces yet. This is very much a one-turn reaction attack. I think here I'm starting to merge some troops to this front, moving forces from rust left. So I'm positioning to look threatening as well. I did summon my first round of Sair. This is what they look like. They don't have the bless up yet, but to remind the bless. It's pretty much, I think precision is thrown. It's shock resistance, reinvigoration, blood surge. So it's mostly just blood surge, which is helpful for them. Makes them more killy, good attack skill once it gets triggered, good damage. Am I sending any out? No. Okay, you summon 5 at a time then. Yeah, just a whole lot of troop movement and positioning as well. Looks like I'm just moving a whole lot of Melqarts up as well. But yeah. My war with Maverni begins now. And we'll see if this kind of blows into a full war, or if Maverni accepts my offer for a truce if he backs off from fighting Sarumadia. So, yeah. A bungled diplomacy turn, but a new war begins, and we get to begin to see what some of my episode 0 planning was all about. We get to see how we use these mages and sort of do a low commitment attacks for the first time. In addition to more Melqart raiding, as we position troops up for threatening sieges. I think on this throne, no one there, but we are moving someone here to claim it and to build the fort. And actually the throne itself is the outer throne, 2 Dominion plus 1 magic, which doesn't help us, 3 astral gems, so it's a purely beneficial throne, but the scale doesn't help, so it's just Dominion spread and gems for us. Yeah, so hope that covers it decently well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time to see the results of the first churn of the war.